Okay, so if you missed one of the last videos, I'm not really sure which one it was. You know that I picked up a whole trailer load, actually 3 trailer loads of go-karts for like 175, I think. And in that video, I detailed all the ones that I got. And I've actually sold one since then to just about cover the entire cost of the go-karts. So basically all these are free. So if you're interested in looking at that, I'll put the video like right here or something if I remember. One of those go-karts is, or was, this Manco Dingo right here, which I plan on putting back together, try to flip for some cash for some other projects. And it's kind of all there. The steering wheel's broken. I'm going to take the one off of this one, put on there, if this bolt will come out, because I've done tried. And it didn't seem too happy. And it's missing a front wheel, so I'm just going to buy 2 new front wheels anyways. And yeah, overall, it just needs a little bit of paint touch up. Like the patina and stuff, I'm not going to mess with because it kind of looks cool. But like down here, where this was repaired, that kind of just looks bad, so I'll probably clean that up a little bit. So I'm just gonna like set y'all down somewhere so you can watch me struggle get it up this hill, and yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, so I mentioned that there's some paint that need to be touched up. I'm going to start with that first because I want to get rid of all this nasty paint that's just peeling off from sitting outside. Bottom of this isn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. That's some good welds. That's going to have to get cleaned up. Oh, so they just broke this sucker off of there. Okay, so I thought about leaving this. I don't know, I was thinking like, well, you know, they broke it, then it looks like they wrote it for years after that. But I don't know, I'm not real happy with how this looks. It kind of looks like I did it when I first started welding. Welding. I still don't know how to weld. I know how to stick 2 pieces of metal together. And I got this flux core right here, and I figured, I have it, I might as well try it. Worst case, I just make it worse, That's always a possibility. So, but first I'm going to get in here with a cutoff wheel and just try to, make it look a little bit cleaner than this before I start. Then, if it goes good, I might go up here. I don't know. I ain't figured it out yet, but I'm going to do something. I also realized this camera angle is not the best. The camera I usually use is in my apartment, which is a place that kind of got hit heavy by the hurricane that just happened. So I can't exactly get to it right now, so I'm using my dad's camera, which doesn't work with my tripod or anything, so that's why. There we go. That could look a whole lot worse, and it looks a heck of a lot better than it did before. So I think I am going to go ahead and try to fix the rest of these areas. It just makes me feel better, and to be honest, it's kind of fun to do too. So I'm sure there's a million other people that says, "Oh, that's terrible, that's hideous," and yeah, it is. But from what I read, flux core is like decently strong. The only thing is it gets hard as a rock, so you can't really use it for body work, which is what I have done in the past. Actually, the Bronco's in the shed over there, but literally every piece of patch panel I've done has been with a flux core, and it's been fun. So I don't know. It's what I have, and it works, and it's cheap to run, as in the wire is cheap, and I don't have to have gas. So that needs to be addressed now that I know I can do better. Okay, I cleaned this up a little bit first before I worry about any of that, because the go-kart kind of needs to go back down. I'm assuming what happened is it cracked right through here. So that's what I'm going to try to focus on. That may be completely wrong, but I think that's what happened. I'm going to say that the kid was bucking it and hit this. Pushed it back, because down here doesn't look broken. They did a good job getting it back to where it's supposed to be. So I'm just going to try to focus on like from here, up here to like, I don't know, right there. I don't know. I don't know. Right in my shoe. Okay, well, as far as I'm concerned, underneath here is done. This right here barely, they didn't even weld that, I don't think. So I hit that real good. You can hear it hissing. Then off camera I went up here too. And hit that area. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty strong now. I feel like it should be. Now I'm going to hit the rest of this down here with the wire wheel, because I kind of got sidetracked. So I can paint all this and then start working on the top. Okay, so part of doing a project is literally knowing when to stop. And in this case, I mean it in the most literal sense. Is I know I don't want to paint this whole thing, because to be honest, I kind of like the way like the rust and it's got a good patina to it. I kind of like that. But I also know that there's some spots where the paint flaking just looks worse than if it was, you know, a decent paint job on it. Obviously, this is going to get painted because I welded that. I'm going to go up to here. I'm not going to paint this. I'm going to paint this. Basically, this whole bottom portion, you know, these bars on the side, the arms. You see there's still paint flaking off, but I'll get those on the top. Bottom, because you ain't going to see it, but it'll just make me feel better. Down here, obviously, and then I think that's about it. I'm not going to paint these. This could easily just snowball into me painting the whole thing, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just touching up some of the bad looking spots. And I need to hit this. I forgot to do that. So yeah. I think it's ready to paint. I'm just going to use, again, this is a budget build. I don't know if I specified that, but it is. Just going to use the cheapest Walmart paint. It's like $2 a can. You'll see some people say, oh, you got to get all the surface rust off. No, you don't. No, you don't. It's a cheap go-kart. You don't have to do that. This was a complete restoration. And like if I was working on that Monte Carlo, yeah, sure. No, you don't. I think that's actually looking pretty good. It's going to need, well, more coats than this, if I have to paint. Did the kid whose dad or mom's buy this, like, they're going to pull up to the Dollar General this thing, and the kid in the back of the Honda Odyssey or Chrysler Pacifica beside him is going to, like, they're going to think that's a mini ride, because of the shiny black paint. But really, this was just spray bombed by a dude trying to make some money. Where's it at? There it is. Anyways, but if I actually cared about making money on these things, and if I calculate it up, I'd probably be making like $2 an hour. So I'll probably make like 100 to 150 bucks on this. But it is kind of fun, just to mess with stuff like this. Also, if you ever watch Vice Grip Garage, he sprays with his thumb. Like, he doesn't use his index finger, he uses his thumb. I always thought that was kind of strange. Sometimes your index finger does get wore out, and it is effective. Well, that's drying. I'm gonna go up here and show you the next project I picked up. Don't make fun of me. It was cheap, and I think I can make some money on it. And it came with the charger and everything. Then I looked around, and I was like, 15 bucks. Yeah, that's coming with me. These things are around like 1 to 150 on Marketplace. So even if I have to put batteries in, I'm still gonna do pretty good on it. But I've got it charging. So on, and it does kick on, but it just clicks. So maybe, I don't know. It's probably gonna need batteries. I might make a video on it. I probably won't, to be honest. I don't know. Okay, so I've done whatever I just did on the bottom side on the top side now. I didn't weld in any more areas right here because honestly it wasn't bad. I kind of just ground down some of the previous welding and painted over it. Painted over this entire bottom area. Okay. That was that one. I kind of wish I had hardware. Good. Okay. I'm gonna go find some bolts to put this in with first. It's raining too. Can't work in the rain. I might get wet. There we go. Both sides are put back, and it's looking right. To be honest, I kind of like the way it looked before. Yeah, this looks fine. Yeah, this looks fine. Went downstairs, just got some 1/4-20 hardware. Fun fact: there was one 1/4-20 nut in there per 4 billion 1/4-20 bolts. So I had to get that from out here, but I'd beefing that up a whole bunch. Still wouldn't want to roll it over, just because of the way it is. I feel like I'm obligated to try something right now. So give me 1 second. Yeah. Oh yeah. That looks good. So the issue with this is I think this was supposed to originally have a torque converter on it. I don't know if I'll be able to run one of those because this 5 horsepower is off a tiller. So you got this one that rotates that away, and then you have this shaft that rotates this way. I'm not real sure what that is, probably for like a reverse feature, but that's kind of in the way. So don't know how a torque converter is going to work. I'm going to have to do some pondering on that, but I just wanted to see that thing in there, and it looks good. This is older. This is older of a motor by about 10 years, what it's supposed to be, but a 5 horsepower is a 5 horsepower. Plus, I think this style of, like, I don't know, these were like kind of rounded while the later ones were kind of like squared off. This actually, that looks kind of good in there. So what I'm thinking is, we've all seen the 5 horsepower brakes that have the exhaust that go straight out and there's like a trumpet end. That would look killer. And do something with the intake. I don't know yet. That stock old bath air cleaner, number one, there's no foam in it anymore because it was disintegrating. Also, I don't think it fits like a go-kart. That screams lawn equipment. I want something that screams like go-kart, So I ain't figured that part out yet, but it looks cool in there at least. So you'll see right here. So you'll see right here that there's a gap, and originally they gave you springs. So actually, they didn't give it to you. The go-kart had springs to probably in a washer. That way you had a little bit of front suspension on this thing. So that's actually pretty cool. So I have one of these. Issue is I don't have 2 of these. I need 2. I think I'm just gonna go to Tractor Supply tomorrow and get a spacer or a bushing about this size. And then this thing's gonna ride like crap anyways. It's a go-kart. They don't ride good at all. Okay, it's fine. So that's what that's supposed to be. And I got this steering mocked up. I'm fixing to do the other side here in a second. Actually, I can't do the other side because I only have one of these bolts. I may be able to look for one. So it's actually 2 days later, I think. But I went and got some hardware for this front suspension. Actually, front suspension, you heard that right. And steering. If you'll look over there, you'll see that side's complete because I did some experimenting. And I mentioned that originally this thing had this spring right here that acted as a little suspension. And I went to Tractor Supply, tried to get a spacer this size, and I don't know if it's a specialty size or what, but they want like $26 for it. Like literally just a little metal sleeve, like 1/2 inch inner diameter, and I don't even know outer diameter. But that was crazy, so I decided not to do that. Then I started thinking, like, that kind of looks like a valve spring. So I went next door to where we have a box of just like random motor parts, and I got this sucker, which this is a double coil valve spring. I don't know if that's like the right term for it, but this is a beefy spring, but you can kind of compress it by hand, so it's not too bad. So what I'm saying is it's really too much for this, but I think it's going to work pretty good, and it's just about the perfect size to for that space in there where the original spring is. Went to Tractor Supply, I got new hardware. I only needed one of these, but I decided they're kind of cheap, so I decided to go and get both. They just make it look a little bit better. So, washer on top, then spring, and then washer on the bottom, then spindle, right there. Then, see that? Nothing binding, then washer, and then washer on the bottom. Don't know if it's needed, to be honest, but then a nut. Also, this hardware stuff has went up a bunch at Tractor Supply. What you see right here, like ×2, was like $10. Plus, I got nut for to hold the wheel on. See, but that was like $10 for all that. And this is like the cheapest version of the hardware. So then I decided that I wanted to put some grease in here. So I took the other side apart at this rate and then put some grease in the sleeve right here. Just some red stuff. I'm not going to record that because it's kind of a mess doing it. It takes a little bit longer because everything's just slippery putting it together. Okay, so the next thing to do on the front and at least is put some new tires on it, wheels and tires. And I haven't decided. There's a swap meet this weekend. I may wait to see if I can find some there, or I may just go to Harbor Freight. But either way, that's going to cost money, and I'm done spending money right now. I'm just tired of it. So I'm going to go to the seat, which I have some wood over there. I think I can piece this thing together for no money. So I still got some material left over from a mini bike seat I recovered. So got this lined out to cut at 20, and then I'll figure it out from there. Of course, I'm gonna have to trim up the sides and stuff, but just wanted to get the height in first. There's the shape of the seat. Actually, maybe I haven't tested it yet, so let's do that. Clean up the edges a little bit, because if not, you're just going to poke yourself, but it's a decent shape. Okay, so I went ahead and whipped out the bottom too. Yeah, I just kind of started marking it out, cutting it till it fit. And then this back here, kind of beveled to butt up to that. I think it's going to look pretty good. So now, I've got a headrest I got to do. I've actually saved all this to use for templates, and I realized I haven't used a single template, so I may use this to get that looking correct. Okay, I went to the Walmart, got some foam, and while I went over there, or actually before I went over there, I painted the back of these black. That way, when you look at the back of the go-kart, you don't see just like raw wood. I think it make it a little, think it make it look a little better. And I was gonna go get 2-inch foam, but I went over there, and 2-inch foam's kind of expensive. It's like $23 for the same roll. And then I saw they had 1-inch foam for $7 because I guess like the top was kind of messed up on it. So that's what I got. And if anything, I can double up the bottom a little bit if it needs it. But let's start making some cushions. Alright, so I'm going to use some spray adhesive to attach this foam. It's just like a contact adhesive. You put it here, and then you let it tack up, and then you stick it, and then you better hope it's in the right spot because it won't come back off. So, and this is already halfway out of stuff. I'll flip this over. Do that. I'm gonna also trim up a little bit. It's not bad. I was thinking about doubling it up, but you know, it's really not that bad. Plus, it's a go-kart. You know, go-karts aren't meant to be super comfortable. Some of them are just like straight up metal steel seats or whatever. So. Before we go any further, we're going to flip it over, see what it looks like. That's going to look pretty good. Clean up the back a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Let's go see what it looks like on the thing. That's going to look pretty good. Alright, so I'll do the other two and then come back and show you. So, I only put one bolt in the bottom because the back is actually secured pretty well. Kind of wedges in there really nice. Just put that back where it goes. And there's the finished product. I think it looks pretty good. This is what I'm talking about. It tucks up underneath there really good. Headrest came up pretty good, I think. Whole thing turned out half decent, I feel like. I'm actually really happy with how that seat turned out. Well, I may try to go down and get a steering wheel off one of the parts go-karts. Complete the look of this really nice 7/16. I just wrung it off. So how do you get that out of there? I'm gonna say that you don't. That took nothing. That was, well, I guess that stays on that one. Nice. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get that other steering wheel off. I may just have to... Either way, I plan on fixing that go-kart is what I'm trying to say. So I may just leave it on there, and that's the steering wheel that go-kart comes with. But I do have this other one. It's kind of jacked up, but it's not the style I want. But I think I can bend this out. It's kind of like a fighter pilot type thing, I guess. Oops. Let's see if this thing will even fit on there. Actually, that don't look too bad. You can tell it's been tweaked, but what I came over here to do, I need to clean out the shaft in here to get it to slide on better. This isn't bad though. Like this is pretty ergonomic, you know. So before I put this on, I want to put some anti-seize because at least with the other one over there, that steering wheel does not want to come off. You probably just have to cut it off. So just some preventative maintenance. And turns out it slides better on there when you got some juice or some lube. Okay, so I wired up the kill switch. So yeah, goes out of here, grounds out into that, and this actually is pretty neat. This is factory, I guess. Ran through the frame, and then where'd it go? There it is. Runs down there, and then you attach that to your motor kill switch once you have it in there. I don't know what's on and off and on's on, so that's gonna be fun when I first start the motor up. But you can just swap those around. What's the chances of that? Stiff.
This is going to be interesting.
No. I ain't got brakes. The hill stops at some. I thought I just heard it rolling. I thought it was going to take me out.
Make sure your parking brake's off.
I wish I had a parking brake.
Am I going to have to come push you?
No.
You sure?
Well, no. The tires are flat spotted. Steering's kind of jerky.
You want to go a little farther downhill this time.
I don't know if I want to go into field trip.
Why? It'll be all right. Reach back there and roll the wheel.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah.
I don't even need a motor on this thing.
Oh, he's booking it now. Don't turn it over. Come get you. That ain't happening.